А він у мене кинув.
В мене теж він кидав.
Зараз цей дай. Він в тебе не кидав, а він в тебе яку кинув? Оцю не кинув, він пластикову.
Не, пластикову.
Та є пластиковою.
Just had a break. We're just about to start again. Everybody here?
I think so. He's here, good. Yeah, I think that's everyone.
Thank you, Arian. Well, in the second half of the afternoon, as I said, if you want to, you have the chance. Well, I love listening to different languages and learning about different cultures. If anybody would like to give us a poem or a song or a riddle or a joke or a story from your culture, I would love to hear it. I love coming to the Globe because you've got students from many different countries and you're all here working together, listening to each other, understanding each other. So when I come here, I often think of this song. Maybe you know it. If you know this song, please help me to sing it. If you don't know this song, you can still help me, because it's very easy. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you. And I think to myself, do you know this song?
What a wonderful song.
That's it, Arian.
Yeah, it is.
What a wonderful world. Can you sing? And I think, sing to myself. Ready? What a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colours of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, can you sing What a Wonderful World? What a wonderful world. Thank you. One more time. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yeah.
I asked you to tell me a story or to sing me a song because I love collecting stories. A few days ago, there was a teacher called Sachi Koyama. And Sachi Koyama comes from Japan. And she told me this story. And when she told me this story, I immediately fell in love with this story. This story is told in Japan. This story is told in China. And, well, I hope that you will like the story that Sachi from Japan told to me. After this story, if you would like to give me a story or a song, that would be wonderful. Story.
Tell us a story.
Story.
Tell us a story.
Once there was an old man, a very old man, a very poor old man. And this poor old man made friends with animals. 3 animals. The monkey, the fox with his long red tail, and
Bat.
a rabbit. Well, one day, this old man, he said to the animals, I am so poor, I am so hungry, please bring me something to eat. Yes, said the 3 animals. And the monkey, he climbed the tree. And there in the tree, he picked fruit with his clever, strong hands and brought it for the old man. The fox, with his long red tail, he went in search of food that he could catch. The fox was a clever hunter. Also, he went to the grave and stole rice cakes that had been left there in praise of the dead. The fox brought the rice cakes and the animals that he had caught back for the old man. But there was another animal. Which one? The rabbit. And the rabbit hopped around and looked for food. But the rabbit found nothing for the old man. Oh, said Rabbit, I do not know how to climb a tree. I do not know how to catch an animal. I do not know how to steal from a grave. Oh, what can I do? And Rabbit hopped back to the old man. And when he came back, there was the monkey giving the old man all of the fruit that he had picked from the tree. And now the fox gave the old man the animals that he had caught and the rice cakes that he had brought. And the old man said, thank you, thank you. Now how am I going to eat these animals? Oh, that is easy, said the fox. Let us make a fire to cook them. And the fox made a fire, and the old man began to cook the meat. And the old man was eating the rice cakes, and he was eating the fruit, and the old man said, Rabbit, what have you got for me? And the rabbit was ashamed. Old man, oh, I have nothing for you. Nothing at all. And the rabbit was so sad. But then the rabbit had an idea. Old man, you can eat me. And the rabbit jumped into the fire. And the rabbit began to cook. And at that moment, the old man changed. The old man became a god. And he said to the rabbit, Rabbit, you are kind. You sacrificed your life. You gave your life for me. To show your kindness, Rabbit, I will lift you up where everyone can see you. And the rabbit rose up, higher and higher and higher, until Rabbit was in the moon. The god said, the moon grows and wanes, gets bigger and smaller, but never dies. And so, Rabbit, you will never die, and everyone will see you in the moon and know your kindness. And that is why, when you look up high in the sky, when the moon is full and round and white, you can see the rabbit in the moon. This story that Sachi Koyama told me is thousands of years old. Thousands of years. And it's told not only in Japan but in China and in the oldest scriptures and stories from the deities of those countries. You can find this story of how the rabbit comes to be in the moon. It's interesting. When I'm in China or Japan or in Mexico, in China or Japan or even in Mexico, they say that when we look at the moon, we can see the rabbit in the moon. But here in Britain, we don't say that, do we, Arian? We say we can see...
An old lady?
I've never heard that before.
Oh, right. I thought it was like an old lady holding a rabbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always seen the man in the moon. The face of a man. Do you see an old lady?
I see an old lady carrying a rabbit, yeah.
What do you see in the moon? Just the moon. No character. Do you see that in your country? What do you say? Banana in the moon. What do you say? You say, where do you come from? Germany. You say the man in the moon. Same as in England. Yeah. What's your name? What's your name? Doris. Joyce. Joyce. And it's your family. Did you say your family's from Japan? And have you heard that story before? No. But did you like it? Yes, okay. I'm glad you did. So this is a Japanese story. It's for you, but it's also for everybody else. And thank you, Sachi Toyama, who told me that story. Now, I was here on Wednesday with your group B, right?
Yeah.
I was with group A. And in group A, there's a young man whose name is Eddie. Eddie from, do you know Eddie? He's from Palestine. And at the end of the afternoon, Eddie told a story. And he told a beautiful story about a snake. And I said to Eddie, thank you for your story. Is it okay if I tell this story? And Eddie said, of course, please, tell the story. And it's a story that's from Palestine here. And he said he learned this story from his grandmother and his grandfather. And I find it really interesting that he tells this story, particularly because I'm interested in the situation that goes on in Israel and Palestine. This is the story that Eddie told me. Once, in the desert, there lived a hunter. And in his home, he had sheep. And his wife milked the sheep. And when she had milked the sheep, the hunter said to his wife, leave the bowl of milk in our kitchen, and I will go and see what I can catch. And the hunter went into the desert. And he hunted all day long, and he caught nothing. But at the end of the day, in the sand, he found some eggs. And he knew these were snake eggs. And he took these snake eggs and he thought, what will happen if I take these snake eggs? And the hunter went and he hid himself behind some rocks. And he waited, and soon the snake came. She came through the sand to find her nest of eggs. And she saw that the eggs were gone. And the snake was angry. Oh, the snake wanted to kill whoever had taken her eggs. She knew that only the hunter came to that desert. So the snake, she went through the sand until she came to the hunter's house. And there the snake, she came into the kitchen and found the bowl of milk. And she put her poison into the milk. And then she left the house. Well, the hunter had been hiding behind the rocks, and he had seen all of this. And the hunter thought, because I took her eggs, the snake has put poison in the milk for my family. I made a mistake. I must put the eggs back. And he took the snake eggs and he put them once more in the sand. He covered the eggs carefully in their nest. And he went back and hid behind the rocks. And soon the snake, and she came to her nest and she found that the snakes were there once more. And the snake thought, oh, I have put poison in the hunter's family's milk. If I leave the poison in the milk, the hunter's family will die. But my eggs are here and safe. I must not do any harm to the hunter's family. And the snake, she went through the sand to the hunter's house and came in through the window by the bowl of milk. And the snake tipped the milk, and the milk ran on the floor. And the snake left the house. And the hunter saw all of this, and he knew he said to himself, "Why would I take something from those who live beside me? We should live together in peace and in harmony." That's the story that one of your friends, Eddie, told to me on Wednesday. The story of the snake, the hunter, and the milk. Thank you. So, is there anybody here? Just ask the person next to you, would you like to tell us a story, or sing us a song, or a poem from your culture, or from your language? Just ask the person next to you, would you like to? Anybody? Would you like to? You don't have to. If you change your mind, just tell me. But there's another plan that I have. That is maybe you can tell me if you want me to tell a story from a particular part of the world. So let me just throw this one out. Okay. Who's going to catch it? Catch it. Catch it, somebody. Catch it. Oh, you got it. Okay. And Ahmed, would you like a story? Where would you like a story from? Oh, from Oman. Okay, I'll tell you a story from Oman. I know stories from every part of the world. Here is a story from Oman. I give this story to Ahmed. I give this story to Feras. Thank you for my story, Feras. And I tell this story for all of you. And I think you will know this story because in Oman, do you speak Arabic? And in Oman, you talk. There are many stories about Joha. Joha. You know the foolish man. What's his name? Joha. My pronunciation is not perfect. Tell me again. Joha. And Joha, there are hundreds of stories about Joha. And I know many, many stories. And this is one of my favourite Joha stories. Joha is a man, he's very clever, but also very foolish at the same time. And the stories are very short. So, story? One day, Joha had been praying in the mosque. And he came out of the mosque and he said, "Where are my shoes? Where are my shoes? I cannot find my shoes. Tell me, where are my shoes?" And the people looked at him. They said, "What's happening, Joha? Why are you so upset?" "Someone has taken my shoes. If I don't get my shoes, I will do what my father did." And the people became afraid. "Oh, we must help him." And they went into the market and they bought a pair of good shoes. And they came back to the mosque and they said, "Joha, take these." And Joha, he took the shoes, he put the shoes on his feet. Yeah? Good shoes. And Joha, he started walking home. And the people said, "Wait, Joha, tell us, what did your father do?" And Joha said, "My father, he walked home with no shoes." Have you heard that story before? Have you heard that story before? That's a story from Oman, but it's not just Oman. That story is told in all of the Muslim countries, all of the Arabic-speaking and other languages like Farsi and things like that. It's told across the Muslim world. And there are hundreds of stories about Joha. I love that story. Have you got another story about Joha? Think about it, I'm sure you do. Everybody knows stories about Joha. Okay. Catch it this time. Don't hit it, catch it. Come on, catch it. Catch it! So you don't want me to tell a story from your country? You do? Do you want me to tell a story from your country? Oh,
From Russia.
Masha, you have to catch it then.
Yeah. Russia.
Show me, point to Russia. Oh, you're pointing to Siberia in Russia. So I'll tell you a story from Siberia.
Okay.
Which part of Russia do you come from?
Moscow.
Moscow. Have you seen here at the globe? Please listen. Have you seen here at the globe in the garden there are many trees? And are the trees dead or alive? Are they alive? Are they green? Why are they green?
Alex.
Is it because it's the summer or the winter? Sorry. No, it's because it's summer. Of course, you know in the winter that the trees drop their leaves and they are not green. Now, this story happened a long time ago when all of the trees dropped their leaves in the winter. I mean, all of the trees. Even the fir trees, the pine trees. You know the pine trees with their little green needles? Do they drop their needles in the winter?
No.
But in the history, long, long ago, even the pine trees dropped their needles. Do you know the holly tree with its sharp, pointed leaves?
Yes.
Even the holly tree shed its leaves in the winter. Well, in that time, there lived a hunter, another hunter. This hunter, he went into the highlands searching for something that he could catch. And there in the highlands, he came to a pool that he had never seen before, a pool of water that was wide. Strange, thought the hunter. Why is this water here? And he ran and he jumped over the pool of water to the far side. And on the far side of the water, this Siberian hunter, he found himself in a world that was even greener than his own. And coming towards him were rabbits. I mean, not one rabbit, not two rabbits, not three rabbits, but many rabbits. And the rabbits were hopping towards him, and on their backs, the rabbits were carrying little people. Little people were riding on the rabbits, riding on the back of the rabbits on saddles. And he looked at these little people riding towards him, and the hunter couldn't believe his eyes. They were so pretty. They had long hair and shining eyes. "Who are you?" said the hunter. And one man who had a long straight beard, a little man, he climbed up the... This little man, he was no taller than the rabbit was. I mean, when the rabbit's ears were up, he was shorter than the rabbit. But when the rabbit put its ears back across, then he was taller than the rabbit. And the little man with the long beard said, "We are the living people. We live forever. We are the immortal ones." "How is this possible?" said the hunter. "No one can live forever." "Yes, we can," said the little man. "We live forever because we wash in living water." "Who are you?" And the hunter said, "I am a hunter." "Good," said the little man, "because in this land a terrible monster has come, and the monster is attacking us and killing us. Please, 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 catch this monster." "Well, what is this monster like?" "It has huge claws that are sharp and long pointed teeth. Oh, please catch this monster." Well, the hunter was afraid. I do not know if I can catch a monster." "If you catch a monster for us, then we will share our living water with you, and you can live forever." And the hunter thought it would be good to live forever. Do you want to live forever?
No. Yes.
No.
Louis, do you want to live forever? I do. I want to live forever. And the hunter thought, "I want to live forever. I will catch this monster." And he went looking for the monster. Well, the hunter was brave and strong. Story, story? Story, story? This young man has fallen asleep. He loves stories so much. Story, story? And the hunter, he found only rabbit tracks. But after a long time looking, he now saw the tracks of another creature, not a big creature. He found, yes, here we go. He found the tracks. I've got a picture here that will help you to understand. Here we go. He found the tracks of a sable. This is a sable. Can you say it?
Sable.
And he thought, "Oh, what a beautiful sable with a fine coat. I will catch this sable." And the hunter, with his bow and arrow, he shot the sable. And he took the skin off the sable and he put the skin on his belt so it was hanging down. And now he went looking for the monster. And he searched east and west and north and south. But could he find that terrible monster? Finally, he came back to the clear pool of water. And there were the little people. And the little people were standing there with their rabbits. And he said, "I am sorry. I could not find the monster. I must go back to my home." "Look," they said, "hanging from your belt. This is the monster." "Yes, you have killed the monster." "Well, this," said the hunter, "this was just a little sable." "No, that is the monster. Oh, look at its terrible teeth, its sharp claws. Oh, thank you, thank you. We will give you living water." "Oh, thank you," said the hunter. "I am ready." "No," said the little people. "We will bring it to you and your people. Wait." And the hunter, he ran and he jumped over the pool of water and back to his own land. And he walked down from the highlands until he came to his village. And he told all of the villagers about the little people. "Pah! Little people," they said. "You must be joking. There's no such thing. It's only a story. It can't be true." However much he tried to persuade them, they didn't believe that the little people could be real. Time passed. The summer went. The trees began to shed their leaves. The oak trees, the ash trees, the birch trees became bare. The holly trees dropped their pointed leaves. The fir trees dropped their green needles. All of the trees were bare. It was so cold that winter. People huddled. They had no food. The hunter went hunting to try to catch some food. But on that coldest day, the little people came. They came skating across the frozen pool, and they carried little bottles of living water. And they walked through the snow, and they carried these little bottles all the way to the village of the hunter. Now, some of the people of the village had come out to look for wood for their fires because it was so cold. And they were hunting in the snow. And they saw strange little people skating on the surface of the white snow. They were so small. And the people of the hunter's village said, look at these strange little people. Aren't they stupid? Look at them. They're so stupid and ridiculous. Look at these stupid little people. And they all were pointing and shouting at the little people. Did the little people like this? These were proud people. And they looked at these villagers and their ugly faces, and they opened their little bottles of living water and they poured the living water on the ground. And then they turned and they skated back across the snow and the ice to their own land. And when the hunter returned and they told him, he said, why? You foolish people, we could have lived forever. Now this story from Siberia must be true, and I'll tell you why. We don't live forever, do we? We all grow older and die. If we had taken the water from the little people, all of us would be able to live forever. And another reason why I know this story is true is because since that time, in the